Alright, people of YouTube, I know the question you may be asking yourself, where the fuck have I been? Well, I really, I have no excuses, people of YouTube. I know, I'm very sorry. I meant to do these top 10 lists this week, but I haven't really had time because of one certain thing called college. And it's not as easy as people think. So, that being said, I am, finally fulfilling the request that people have, well, my cousin, basically, has been asking me to do because I promised to do this on his birthday, and I didn't do it. I feel like a horrible person. So, but I'm doing it now. You know what they say, better late than never. And I'm gonna give you, Nico, the cousin, the best person in my life, a top 10 list that I promised him to do. That is the top 10 funniest moments in anime. These are the moments in anime that personally made me laugh my ass off for one reason or another, people of YouTube. Now, we all have our own kind of sense of humor, and, you know, you're not gonna probably get a kick out of the funniest moments that I personally have that made me laugh personally, rather than what probably made you guys laugh in the first place. So, that being said, this is just my opinion, my list, my kind of sense of humor, and we're just gonna get this list started, alright? First off, happy late birthday, Nico. I'm very upset that I didn't get to do it on your birthday, but better late than never, am I right? Am I right? Okay, so then, okay, so starting off this top 10 list for top 10 funniest moments in anime, saving a cat in Is This a Zombie? The first 5 minutes of Is This a Zombie, where the main character, Ayamu, kind of like introduces himself. He goes, "Hi, I'm Ayamu Aikawa. You know, I attend high school, blah, 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 blah." And then he sees this cat just on the street. And then he rushes over and tries to save the cat. And then he grabs the cat. And one guy's like, "Dude, what are you doing? You're gonna die." And he's like, "That's okay. That's alright." Why? Cause I'm a zombie. He turns to the camera and like does like this funny face. Cause I'm a zombie. And it's like the best kind of pickup line to a joke ever. And it just kind of made me laugh. I'm like, wow. And plus, it was like the first 5 minutes of the, like 2 minutes of the anime. So that's how you know I was pretty much in for a treat the minute I started watching it. So that's number 10 on this list. Oh my god. The crazy over-the-top 5 first minutes of Killa. So, enter a normal classroom where a teacher's kind of doing his own thing and teaching his students, when all of a sudden this huge guy bursts through the door and comes in. He's like, "Okay, so one of you has the special uniform that makes people strong." And then, you know, you see this one random dude, you know, he has the uniform like underneath his shirt or whatever, and then he starts to run, and then all of a sudden he just starts to run throughout the whole school, and Gamagori is just trying to chase him throughout the whole school, and it just shows the most over the top just craziness of Killa, and that just freaking made me laugh. I thought it was hilarious as hell. And not to mention, it introduced one of my favorite characters in Killa, Gamagori, and it's just a hoot and a half. I love those first 5 minutes. But like those, it was genius, just freaking genius. Hilarious. Oh, okay, now this is kind of obscure, but it did kind of make me laugh. And not in the sense that, you know, they took it seriously, but how like nonchalant that they did it. Falling Forever, Noragami. So you have this one co-worker and who, you know, he's planning to commit suicide. But all of a sudden, Nyato shows up and kind of, you know, he shows up like out of nowhere and kind of accidentally pushes him off the ledge, and they start falling and falling and falling and falling. And they're having like this huge normal conversation nonchalantly throughout the whole fall, and it's like it's taking forever. All you see him is falling. And then, just out of nowhere, and that kind of right there just made me laugh. And just not just in the sense that it's kind of like really bizarre, but in the sense that how they took it, how the characters took it so nonchalantly. Like one of the character who planned to commit suicide even like gave him a card. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you know, here's my card." And I'm just like, wait, really now? It just makes me laugh thinking about it. Just makes me laugh. This one's an entire episode, people of YouTube, and I think it just goes without saying. The test episode from Soul Eater. So this is a life or death test, alright? If I remember, I haven't seen Soul Eater in 3 years, and coincidentally I've seen the anime twice. Well, basically they had to take like this super really important test, and it's just, the whole episode is just this test, and you see Soul trying to cheat on the test, and then, he gets up getting stripped of his clothing, and Black Star is beat up because he tried to cheat on the test, because he tried to go to Sid's house, and he got his ass handed to him. And it's just like, it's this whole episode, the Patty is just doing her own thing, Kid is just writing his name, the whole episode is just hilarious, and just one of the best episodes of Soul Eater, in my opinion, at least comedy-wise. That's the comedy in Soul Eater is just hilarious. That whole episode was just so fucking hilarious. It just made me laugh so damn hard. Now, actually, this is one of my personal favorites, and this, of course, it's on this list for that reason. Number 6 is Okoro Sensei. So, it's from Assassination Classroom. Okay, in Assassination Classroom, it's about like these group of kids who have to kill their teacher because he's threatening to destroy the world, and he's like this octopus-looking tentacle motherfucker, and they're trying to kill him. So a group of the students decided to run up to him like all nonchalant, like, "Hey, hi, Koro Sensei." And Koro Sensei, he's like, "Oh, look at my beautiful students. They all look so well. They look so beautiful. Oh well." And all of a sudden, they bring out the knives and everything, just with a smile on their face. He goes, "Damn, these guys are savages." That's what Koro Sensei said. And they tried, stabbing him. And then later he actually ends up ruining their flower patch, and they all get upset because of that. Cause, come on, we were building those flower patches forever. And then Koro Sensei tries to redeem himself, and later he gets tied up in that same episode. And it's hilarious. That whole scene is just freaking hilarious. Oh god, now this is a whole segment to an episode. This is the trying to peep in the bathroom scene in Baca and Test. So, obviously the characters of Baca and Test are low-key perverts. So, they decided, they went to like this event, or they had like a school trip, and the guys decided, you know what? Let's go try to peep in the girls while they're trying to take a shower, take a bath. So they end up doing, and then literally that whole episode is just filled with comedy gold. The fact that these guys just keep trying and trying and trying and trying, ultimately to get their ass. And then that one time, the last time, they actually rushed to the bathroom. They actually did it. Only Akihisa and his friend, and it's the school principal. They ended up getting suspended, and was it worth it? Was it worth it, guys? I think they collectively agreed, no, it was not. That whole episode, it was just gold. It was I believe it was in the second season, and it's one of the best scenes in that season. Okay, now out of all the moments in Konosuba, they were really tough. I had to put a moment from Konosuba because every moment made me laugh in Konosuba. So, I thought to myself, what would be the best one, okay? And it's tough because Konosuba is a hilarious anime. But ultimately, I decided on the succubus episode. And, oh boy, this whole episode was just a hoot and a half to watch, okay? So, Kazuma, our lovely main character, decides to, head to like this succubus bar or whatever, and for the cost of like a dip in vitality, he gets a succubus, and when he goes to sleep, he gets like this epic dream, this awesome dream, any dream that he desires. So, later that night, the succubus told him that you can't drink, and you have to make sure that you're asleep. So Cosmo didn't drink, if I remember correctly. I think he did drink, I'm not really sure, but he he decides to go to bed, tries to fall asleep, but he can't sleep. So he takes a shower, and then he sort of falls asleep in the shower, but then he wakes up, and he sees darkness kind of undressing himself. And then there's that whole huge darkness Cosmo running joke throughout the whole season at that time. And then turns out that it wasn't a dream. It was, the succubus was already on its way there, and Cosmo had to play it off. He's like, oh no, because the things that he tried to do to darkness was hilarious. And and he tries to protect the succubus because Aqua and Megumin kind of like have her down. And then Cosmo does like this, go, it's okay, you may go. And then he gets his ass handed to him while the succubus runs away. And then throughout the whole season, it becomes like this running joke where he blames everything that night on the succubus, but really it was him. Oh, Cosmo. Oh, now this was a really early childhood moment in Bleach, and I absolutely love this scene. This scene was just too funny, and then just how first off, it was a badass scene, but it was also a hilarious scene at that. It's the scene in Bleach where Ichigo goes to save Rukia. So Rukia was about to get executed because of giving her Soul Reaper powers to Ichigo to save his life, blah 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 blah. And Ichigo, wants to save her, being the nice guy that he is. So he goes through this huge ordeal to try to go save Rukia. At the end, after his Bankai training, where he tries to learn Bankai, Rukia was about to get executed, and out of nowhere, Ichigo just saves her, outright just saves her. And then she has it like this, I believe, he actually saved her, and then he looks at Renji, grabs her, and literally throws her to Renji. He goes, and there's just the face and everything that Rukia did. It was pretty freaking funny, and then Renji just looks at her like, "What? What are you doing, you idiot?" And then it was funny. Not only it was a badass scene, but it was a hilarious scene at that. That scene was really good, really freaking funny. Oh boy, now we're heading to the top 2 people of YouTube. So my number 2 choice is as like the Soul Eater one, which was an entire episode. This was an entire episode. Personally, my favorite anime and one of my favorite comedy animes of all time that I sadly never reviewed. Episode 18 of My Bride is a Mermaid. Oh, I love this anime to death, people of YouTube. It's one of the funniest animes I think I've ever seen, and this episode right here cemented that fact. I love this episode. Now, first off, if you don't know the story of My Bride's a Mermaid, it's basically about a guy named Nagasumi who ends up seeing a mermaid, and because of that, the mermaid was supposed to die, but then, they find a loophole to the fact that, in order for him not to get executed, he had to marry this mermaid, which is her name's later Sun. And, you see the two bond and interacting. Personally, it's some of the funniest shit in anime, and it's so fucking funny. Like, it really is. Like, in my opinion, it's one of the funniest animes I think I've ever seen. And episode 18 just cemented that fact. I don't want to give the episode away, honestly, people of YouTube. I really don't. But let's just say it involves what's known as a mermaid potion, which is a running joke throughout the film, where every time they drink a mermaid potion, some crazy shit happens. And it turns out, of course, that happened. So, let's just say the main character drinks this mermaid potion. All the girls loves him, all the guys hates him. That's it. And it's just comedy gold right there. It just made me laugh every single fucking time. It was hilarious, people of YouTube. I love it. And the last, what's the funniest moment in anime, people of YouTube? At least in my opinion. Well, that's a scene from One Piece, people of YouTube. And, it's a moment that no one ever talks about. This moment was pretty funny for me that I actually had to pause it because I was laughing so damn hard. Like, I had to pause the episode because I was laughing. And what moment may that be? Falling off of Sky Island. So then, enter our heroes, the Straw Hat Pirates. They finally defeated Eneru, a god who possessed, a so-called god who possesses the almighty ability to control lightning because of his lightning devil fruit. And out of nowhere, you know, as they were leaving, I believe one of the girls that they met in Sky Island was like, oh, you know, you should be careful of the free fall, because they were leaving and then they were trying to go down back to the sea, and then the character was like, oh, be careful of the free fall, and then they look at the girl and they're just like, free fall, and then all of a sudden the Going Merry just comes out. All you see is the steep ass drop, and then they start falling, and then their eyes came out of their sockets, and it's just just thinking about it makes me laugh, just because of that scene where they're just falling. It was so fucking funny. I had to pause the episode, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, okay, I'm done. I'm done. You gotta watch that scene for yourself, people of YouTube, because that was just gold. If it was a moment so funny I had to pause it, then that's how you know it was funny. At least for me. I don't know about anyone else, but it was funny for me. And that's gonna end this top 10 list video, people of YouTube. My god, I had a blast actually doing this one. But it's gonna be a bitch to edit, so wish me luck on that department. And happy late birthday, Nico. I'm sorry that this list was very late, but hey, you got it, so don't even be too upset about it. That being said, people of YouTube, I hope you had fun. Have a nice weekend, and 'tis I once more, the Crimson Assassin. Peace, YouTube.